Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Early Bird Gets the Word. And starting down over here just to get my bookshelf in the shot here, just to show you these books and all these different books. And you might ever seen a book if you're a reader and you go to a bookstore, a place to find a book, and you look at the cover a lot of times and have this book here and say, well, that looks like a good one by looking on the cover. But we all know it's what's on the inside the counts of that. And we see these books, and many times us thinking about a book as a story and how we're wired for story. And God created us that way, to know stories, to love stories, to remember stories. And just to show that, just look, what are the movies that make millions and billions of dollars? They're stories. They started as many times books, and they turned them into a film adaptation. I think that God knew this too. He made us that way. He designed us this the way. And the greatest teacher that ever was Jesus. Jesus also, when he wanted to drive home a point, told a parable. Was a parable. It's a story that God would use to drive home a lesson many times. But because of this, there's a battle that we have in our own brains. When something goes bad, when we're having troubles and trials with somebody or something, many times what we do is we have a battle in our brain. And that battle that we have in our brain is, and in our mind, is telling a story. You see, many times, so many people, we all do it. There'll be a little bit of trouble. Might have a conflict with someone or something, or maybe conflict within ourselves. But then in our mind, we get to thinking about that. And what our mind likes to do, and especially the flesh, the carnal side of us, likes to start telling stories. You think of a story, I love the stories by J.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. He was a Christian author. If you didn't know that, there's a lot of Christian symbolism in his stories because he was a Christian. But love those stories, and you see in those stories there's a protagonist and an antagonist. Protagonist being that good character that we're rooting for. We want to make it through, and the antagonist being that evil villain. Well, too many times we do the same thing in our brains, and we start writing stories, and many times we make a villain out of some of the people that's in our life. And they're not trying to be a villain. Maybe we're mad or upset with them, but we make them to be villains, and we start telling a story in our mind. And the thing about the story is we tell in our mind, we start making up things in our mind that's not true. And we start writing that story. Well, they probably said this and they probably said that. And the next thing you know, you've got a whole novel ready to publish and put out to the world, and none of it's true. You see, 2 Corinthians chapter 10, I used this verse just the other day. Verse 3 says, for we walk not in the flesh. We do not, though we walk in the flesh, we do not war in the flesh. For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, are not of the flesh. Amen. But mighty through the pulling down of strongholds, casting down imaginations. Right there it is, imaginations. That's what you write and make up in your own mind, because this is not a battle of the brain, really. What we really need to have as a born-again believer in Jesus Christ is the heart. We need to humble our heart before God. Our hearts are deceitfully wicked, and who can know them? And what we need God to do is reveal to us what is in our heart, so that then we can fix our mind on the things of God and cast down those imaginations. How do you cast down imaginations and telling those stories in your mind? Humble your heart before God. Ask God to search your heart. Reveal your own heart to you, so that you then can remove the plank out of your own eye to see the speck that's in your brother or sister's eyes. What does he say? Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against God. And then he says, against the knowledge of God, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Where does it start? It starts in the heart. If you want to win that battle in your brain, you got to humble your heart before God and let God deal with your heart, so you can find out what is the truth of the matter, because God will shine his light and his grace and his truth into your life. Don't make up a story about somebody in your heart and your mind, but ask for God to reveal to you the truth. Quit telling yourself stories when you don't know the truth. Know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. God bless you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please remember to share this on social media. It's you that multiplies the message when you share this with others. Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow morning when another Early Bird Gets the Word daily devotion. God bless. We'll see you then.